The first body was found by a fisherman. It was just after dawn when he noticed something caught against a cluster of fallen branches along the edge of Willow Creek. At first, he thought it was a pile of old clothing washed downstream after a storm. As he walked closer, he realized it was a person. Police quickly identified the victim as a 28-year-old teacher who had disappeared 3 weeks earlier after leaving a friend's birthday party. Her purse had been found inside her locked car. Her keys were still in the ignition. There had been no evidence of a struggle. Detectives believed they were dealing with an isolated homicide. Until 5 months later, a maintenance crew clearing brush nearly 15 miles downstream made another discovery. This victim was a local electrician who had vanished after finishing a late-night service call. Like the first victim, he had simply disappeared. His truck had been found parked neatly on the shoulder of a quiet road. The engine was off. His tools remained untouched. Nothing had been stolen. The similarities were impossible to ignore. A task force was formed. Investigators examined every detail of both victims' final movements. They had never met. They worked different jobs, lived in different neighborhoods, but one small detail connected them. Both had stopped at the same 24-hour gas station less than an hour before they disappeared. Detectives reviewed months of surveillance footage. Most of it showed nothing unusual. Then one investigator noticed the same dark green SUV appearing again and again. Sometimes it was parked across the street. Sometimes it was fueling up at another pump. Sometimes it simply drove past. It was never close enough to attract attention, but it was always there. Police released a photograph of the vehicle. The public response was overwhelming. Hundreds of tips came in. Most led nowhere. Then another body was found. This time, it was a college student who had been missing for only 6 days. He was discovered in shallow water beneath an old railroad bridge. Again, investigators confirmed he had stopped at the same gas station shortly before vanishing. Now the connection was undeniable. Detectives returned to the station and interviewed every employee. One cashier remembered the green SUV, not because of the driver, but because he always paid in cash, always bought the same thing. A bottle of water, black coffee, nothing else. The station's loyalty cameras captured a clearer image than investigators had seen before. The driver's face was finally visible. A tip identified him as Daniel Mercer, a regional sales representative whose job required him to travel constantly between counties. He had no criminal record. Co-workers described him as dependable, friendly, and quiet. His work schedule placed him on the road almost every night. Detectives obtained a warrant to search his SUV. Inside, forensic investigators discovered tiny traces of blood beneath the removable cargo liner. DNA testing linked it to the missing electrician. A second search of Mercer's storage unit uncovered several personal items belonging to all 3 victims, hidden inside sealed plastic containers. During the trial, prosecutors argued that Mercer spent years blending into the background, choosing victims who were alone late at night and unlikely to be missed until morning. His job explained why he was always traveling, why witnesses remembered seeing his vehicle in different towns, and why nobody ever questioned his presence. After 8 weeks of testimony, the jury found Daniel Mercer guilty on multiple counts of murder. But the investigation didn't end there. Detectives discovered 6 additional missing person cases stretching back almost a decade that shared striking similarities. Late-night disappearances, vehicles left behind, final sightings near isolated roads. Investigators believe Mercer was responsible, but without enough physical evidence, those cases remain officially unsolved. Today, Willow Creek looks peaceful. Families fish along its banks. Children skip stones across the water. Most visitors have no idea why a small memorial sits beneath the old railroad bridge. But longtime detectives still return every spring after the snow melts. Because each year, the creek shifts its course just enough to uncover things that had been buried beneath the mud. And they're never completely certain it has given up everything.